What if your body moved, but your mind was no longer yours? There's a parasite out there, not a virus, not a worm, but a fungus. And once it infects its victim, it does something straight out of a horror movie. It takes control of their body and uses it as a weapon. Meet Entomophthora muscae, the fly destroyer fungus. It sounds made up. It's not. It's real. And it turns flies into walking, twitching zombies. When most of us think of fungi, we imagine mushrooms on pizza or mold on bread. Even in nature, we think of fungi as passive, growing quietly in the soil, helping things decompose. But Entomophthora doesn't wait for death. It creates it, with surgical precision. The process begins innocently enough. A spore, microscopic and invisible, lands on a fly's body. Maybe it came from a nearby corpse. Maybe from another infected insect. It sticks. It spreads. And then, it begins to drill. The fungus penetrates the fly's outer shell using enzymes that dissolve tissue. From there, it enters the bloodstream, quietly multiplying, weaving itself into every organ, every muscle. But here's where it gets dark. It doesn't kill the fly. Not yet. Instead, it waits. And while it waits, it learns. The fungus knows exactly when the fly is most contagious and exactly how to turn the host into a puppet. At the perfect moment, usually near sunset, it hijacks the fly's nervous system. The fly suddenly stops flying. Its legs tremble. Its wings flutter erratically. And then it climbs. It crawls up a leaf, a wall, or a blade of grass, somewhere high and visible. Then, the fly raises its wings, stretches out its legs, and freezes. It dies in that exact pose. Why? Because it's the perfect position to spread the fungus. Once the fly is dead, the fungus bursts out of its abdomen in a halo of white spores. The body becomes a launch pad. Spores shoot out in all directions, up to 3 millimeters away, infecting any other fly that dares to come close. And they do, because the fungus goes one step further. It releases chemical signals, pheromones, tricking other flies into landing near or even on the corpse. It smells like mating, but it's a trap. A death trap. The cycle continues. Fly after fly, body after body. A quiet massacre, hiding in plain sight. And the most disturbing part? The flies don't look sick. To the outside world, they're just tired, just landing, just twitching. But inside, their bodies are no longer their own. In fly colonies, this behavior causes chaos. Healthy flies start avoiding the dead or twitching. Entire nests relocate. The infected are pushed away. But often, it's too late. By the time they see the signs, the spores are already in the air. This is not science fiction. This is nature. Cold, calculated, brilliant, and horrifying. Scientists believe this fungus has evolved over millions of years to perfectly sync with its host's life cycle. Even the timing of the fly's death sunset is optimized to catch other flies when they're most active. The level of precision is terrifying. And no, it doesn't just affect flies. Other zombifying fungi exist too, infecting ants, spiders, even cicadas. But Entomophthora muscae is one of the most eerily perfect. It's not just killing. It's manipulating. It's performing surgery on behavior itself. And here's a thought. If a tiny fungus can control a fly's brain, what else in nature is silently pulling the strings? For now, the threat is limited to insects. But scientists are studying these fungi closely, not just for fear of what they can do, but for what they might teach us. About control, about consciousness, about where you end. And something else begins. So next time you swat a fly, look closer. Is it flying on its own? Or is it already gone? Just another puppet in the fungus's final performance? Because in nature, death isn't always the end. Sometimes, it's only the beginning.